What is up, chat, on a Monday? Yes, back live at it again. I may have made errors. I was just eating popcorn. That was a bad idea. Just a potentially tragically bad idea with us about to get going here. But welcome in on a Monday. Here's what we're doing. Fran Brown press conference should be starting imminently. The live stream is up and going. I see a picture of Fran Brown staring back at me. There he is. Fran, look at him. Look at that guy. Handsome devil. Staring back at us right there. So we'll get that up in just moments when it gets going. What's up in the chat? Vegas, Shane, T-Takes, popcorn on my tongue. Yeah, the popcorn. Terrible idea. Just a terrible pre-show idea. We learn as we go. I guess we don't, because we've done stupid stuff like that before. But welcome back to the basement on a Monday afternoon. We'll potentially add some new elements. This is just our second week of doing that. What's up, J.R. Brown, San Diego Cuse, a.k.a. out there on the left coast. So we know on the post-game show we've added the link where you can join the broadcast and comment and whatever if you'd like. I've tossed the link at the top of the chat today. It's pinned there right now if you are so inclined after the Fran presser is over. So we'll see what Fran has to say on the beginning of this Clemson week. Noon, Saturday, Death Valley, Clemson stinks, Orange are 19-point dogs. It's a whole thing. It feels like you know how you often get ready for games, like big games, you're like, oh man, it's best on best, this great defense versus this great offense. Here's the thing. This week, it's Syracuse's defense and Clemson's offense. So we're going, instead of best on best, we're trying worst on for size to see what happens Saturday in Death Valley. So we're going to give that a go. Worst on worst and see what happens. So it's a get-right game for somebody. I'm concerned that will be the Clemson Tigers, who have looked at anything but like a national championship or even a league championship contender after losing to Georgia Tech last weekend through the first few weeks. Syracuse blows out Colgate last week. Whoop-de-doo. Nothing really to take away from that instead of my general terror throughout the second half that Steve Angeli might get injured. I'll be intrigued to see if we get any update today from Fran R.E. Demetrius Weatherspoon, who left the game, the starting right tackle, midway through the third quarter with injury last game. You never know with Fran. He'll either tell you, like, a guy's complete medical history, or he'll throw the wool over your eyes and ignore it, or, we talk to the doctors later, or whatever. So I'll be intrigued to see what we get out of Fran. Ari, the Weatherspoon injury. Ari Isin Willis, who missed the game last week. If there's anything about Malachi James out there, his dad tweeting then deleting last Friday that he was potentially done for the year. So I'm sure Fran will hit the requisite injury notes today, and we'll see if anything comes to fruition when it comes to that. So right now, Fran was very prompt last week. He was excitingly prompt last week with the start of his press conference. We got eyes on it, and the second Fran goes live, we'll go. We'll do this deal here. We'll go. We'll do the little box. So we'll have Fran in the box, but then I'll be in the other box. So if I feel like saying something about what's going on, I'll be there to comment on the situation. So we'll see what happens with this press conference coming up on Monday. We just learned about an hour ago, kick time for the next home game. That's Duke 12 days hence. That will be another nooner in the Dome. We're going all. We had some kooky late nights last year. Oh man. We were burning the candle on like Hawaiian time last year. We got a bunch of nooners on Saturday so far. Will be the fourth Saturday nooner out of 4 tries. It was only the Colgate Friday game. I just saw this week. This means literally nothing at all. This is the third straight game against a school that starts with the letter C. Yeah, there's that. Connecticut, Colgate, Clemson. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that information. But, facts are facts. I can't argue with facts, right? Like, that is a factual statement. That it's the third straight game against a school starting with the letter C. And the Orange have beaten the first two for whatever that means. So we got that Steve Angeli became the first Orange quarterback to go 400 yards in back-to-back games against the last two schools that started with C, UConn, Connecticut, that's the C, and Colgate. If he does it again this week, it becomes about 8 bajillion times more impressive, because as much as Clemson's offense is on the struggle bus right now, their defense is fantastic. Oh, we have a fade. Things are happening. Fran is approaching. Cameras are on. Microphones are open. There's the man himself. Fran Brown on a Monday. Here we go.
I'm excited about this week, excited about the opportunity to coach Syracuse football team. Thankful for our fans, community, everybody that came out this past weekend. We got a big game ahead of us, so I'm just truly thankful and happy about that. I'm excited to get a chance to compete against Clemson. Coach Dabo Swinney, one of the best coaches in college football, right? Hands down, top 5 coaches there is. He's a really good football coach. I think he does an amazing job. Offensive coordinator Riley's good. Tom Allen, a good person also. I remember Coach Allen from, I think, South Florida, where he did an amazing job there. Then at Indiana, turned the program around, and now it's being over there with him. They got a lot of experience. Special teams coordinator Mike Reed, Coach Reed's really good secondary coach, one of the better ones in the country. So it's exciting. It's a good opportunity to go against and compete against a good program, like a really good established program, and a very fine head coach. So I'm thankful for this opportunity that we get to go out and at a great venue, an amazing stadium, actually, to get to go to Death Valley and have some fun, compete at football.
Questions? We'll start right in front with Dan.
Coach, working so much with the defensive backs and practicing just in general, working with that room, what have you seen from them in these first 3 weeks, and kind of some of your takeaways, and then specifically to Deuce Chestnut, who's been a corner, been a safety, just his versatility as well?
Deuce is a leader back there. He does a really good job. He can do everything, could play a lot of positions. Thankful that he's in the back at safety now, because he can communicate with everybody, make sure guys is lined up right, and that helps us a lot. I
Deuce
think
is finally wearing the number 2, which may be the most important
I think the
thing.
guys are consistently getting better. They make some really good plays. You're like, wow, I know you could do that. Then they do some dumb stuff every once in a while too, right? So it's kind of hey, let's lock in, just work on your technique and finish, right? Let's just finish. Let's not guess. Let's just read our keys, right? I think that when they read their keys there extremely well, sometimes when they try to guess, it doesn't always work itself out, but you don't want to take those instincts away from some good football players. You want them to be instinctual sometimes. So guessing instincts, still the same, but I'd rather them have instincts off of watching tape and things of that nature, and it tells them they remember seeing this, they know what it is, and they're ready to make the play.
Fran, when you take a transfer out of the portal and he doesn't have a lot of college tape, what's your process like for deciding, I think this guy can help us, versus the other coach didn't play him for a reason?
I think there's always a lot of practice tape, and you have to go off of the team that he was at and how they practice, your relationship with that coach. You go off if you were recruiting him, and how that went in the recruiting process. Then there's a message, just communicating back and forth, making sure they're comfortable with your culture. And I would say sometimes you got to go with your gut. You got to go with your gut. You got to understand and know there'll be a fit here for what we do, and just having confidence in your gut.
There's so many guys that got out of the portal.
It's a lot of faith, to be honest. Faith is everything with me, but it's just you having some hope that it'll work itself out.
Is the practice tape always available, or does it depend? Like a team in your conference might not give it to you, or something like that?
I'm not really sure. It depends, case by case.
You can hand it right back to Samantha behind you.
Coach, throughout the week in practice, how do you match the intensity of a place like Death Valley?
Just have fun. Shit, I'm here. Just how I am every day. I'm on go all the time, so I'm only calm and chilling because I'm in here. I just left the defensive room excited. I was in the staff meeting excited. So, you get a chance to play football, to coach football. How do you not? It's just the energy. It's just who you are daily, right? We got to find some things to make it loud for the offense, things of that nature. I don't know. I might just Everybody I see outside tell them come to practice today. No, I'm messing with you. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We'll have fun. We'll figure it out. We're just going to have fun, though, right? Honestly, just about competing, having fun, and making plays every day at practice, and eventually those will happen in the game.
Live crowd instead of pumped-in crowd noise would be kind of electric.
Yeah, Coach, obviously with the game being Friday night this past week, how does that kind of change, I guess, how this week looks? Does that change any routines, and how can you use that extra day to your advantage this week?
We just try to watch football, try to keep the players away, get them to relax, try to take their mind away from ball, get an extra day to recover, right? Recovery is so important. It's probably the most important piece of it. So I was able to do that and then recover not just the bodies, but also the mental, to get the mental to be ready to come back and compete. Because we're gonna have a great game this weekend. Right? We're playing against a great team, so it's gonna be fun. I mean, it's the ACC, so you understand and know that this is gonna be a tough football game for us to go into and compete and play. So same preparation, just different team.
Yeah, and then with Travion, do you have any status on if he'll be back this week? And also on that, just what have you seen from Nikhil kind of stepping up these past 2 weeks?
They told me I ain't had to tell you that Thursday. It started to go out. So Thursday I'll put questionable. Friday I have questionable 2 hours before the game. I'll tell you what it's going to be. I might put almost questionable. It's like, nah, they just said, I hope he play. He should play. Seeing how it goes, I'm going to push him to play. But it just depends on his body and how everything reacts.
Fran's making up new injury designations. He's almost questionable.
Coach, when you have so many true freshmen playing important roles on your team already, Byron on offense, Demetrius and Antoine on defense, what does that say about the class that you just brought in and the direction of the future of this program heading forward?
They're good football players. I bring them in all the time, and I talk to them about it. When all of them get on the field and they are mentally and physically developed enough and ready to play ball, we won't be stopped. I can't wait to see them all on the field when that time comes. You see what happened with Darren and Dante as they got on this weekend, and Gabe, right? Gabe was able to score also. So, we got some good football players. The young D-line, all those guys got a chance to get in and play, and that just gave them a taste. They hungry. Now they want to be pushed, right? I talked to Quante today. He said, Coach, just keep pushing me. I'm excited. I can't wait. I understand. I know where I'm at now, and I want to play. So you just got to keep working, right? So, but when that 24, 25 class is on the football field and you got some other guys behind them 26s that's coming in, different things, it's going to be exciting to watch and exciting to see, right? It's going to be fun.
Maybe different for them in Death Valley than against Colgate.
And after that, I'm going to pass it right back to Maddie.
Coach, some people might look and see 3 sacks and see that as maybe that's something you got to improve on. But is there other things the pass rush is doing that maybe doesn't show up in the stats that you're encouraged by so far?
They're getting hurries. I think we got to improve on it too. I'll talk about that. We got to let the rushers rush, the droppers drop. We just got to have fun, right? I tell them the same thing. We want more sacks. Of course we do. I just really want to win. So if winning means you can't have a lot of sacks, then they keep the sacks, and we'll take the W's.
And would you put Yassine in the category of Travion? Is he practicing this week, or how would you characterize him coming back? Yassine, yes.
Thursday you'll find out. Questionable. He better practice, though. He better play. He got to play football, right? It's the nature of the business, the game, so we'll see. But if everything goes right, he'll play.
The conference is mandating injury reports for conference games this year, hence the Thursday.
Coach, looking at Clemson and Cade, what makes this offense so difficult to kind of prepare for, especially knowing that you're going to be going into Death Valley with a team that's 1-2 right now, kind of desperate for a win?
I think they're a good football team. I think they could easily be 3-0, right? It's a couple plays.
But we're worried about the 7 pros on
easily
defense.
Be still talked about as best team in the country, right? One of the better teams in the country, and I think that's who they are. They got one of the better coaches, teams. So, they got Randall at running back, Davison at running back, the receivers, 12, 1, 0s, the 22, 11 at tight end. They loaded on offense, right? And then Cade to go with all of those guys. So, I'm excited to go compete against those guys, man. They some good football players. They got a good culture there. So it's going to be fun to go up to Death Valley to have an opportunity to go play, and especially with us building our culture and them having a strong culture. I'm excited that we get a chance to play them right now.
Go up to WAR in the third row.
Fran, last fall you beat Miami. Clemson gets into the ACC title game, and you called Dabo. What did you say to him on that call?
Nah, we were just saying congratulations to each other. He was happy that we won. I was just happy he got the opportunity to go in the conference championship. You want somebody that you know to be able to go to the conference championship, get a chance to win, especially after we won. So, I was excited for him. I mean, they worked their butts off. That was just more so me calling them. But that was last year, right? I want to go to the conference championship this year. But that was pretty cool to be able to see them guys go there and win and get into the playoffs also. So we wouldn't have had an opportunity to do either, to get in the playoffs or to go to a conference championship. So it's pretty cool to be able to see another team from the ACC have an opportunity to go into that game.
There are definitely two teams from the ACC in the conference.
The first few games of each season, Coach, can kind of serve as measuring sticks for where your team is. Those games are obviously, still important to win, but after Tennessee, UConn, Colgate, how do you feel about where your team is at now that the conference slate is set to begin?
We got to keep getting better every day. Like every day is a race to get better. It's important that we get better. It's important that we practice hard. But it starts off in the morning with praying. From them prayers, we got to come to breakfast. We got to go to class. We got to be in treatment. Like, we got to do everything. Like, we got to do everything right. The more of the things that we do right, the more the better karma comes our way, right? So that's really, we got to get better at everything. We want to all get better, and that starts with myself, being a head football coach, all the way to whoever it may be that you think isn't getting in the game, all the way to the equipment guy that helps out, that comes from class. He better be in class, didn't come over here, do it right. It's just our entire organization, not just the players, everybody. Everybody has to continue to grow and continue to get better so we can meet the program that we want to be, and hopefully our culture is strong enough so everybody has the opportunity of doing that.
Go in front to Chris, and then Spectrum right after that.
Fran, I think after every game this year, you've talked about trying to get the team to come together and care about each other and love each other. Has that process been different this year than it was last year?
I think every year the process of getting closer and growing and coming together is different. You can't just assume that because you did it last year with these people that it automatically goes, right? Like every year you got to put a little bit more into it, right? Like for me, I've been with my wife now 26 years and married 21. Every year I got to step the bar up a little bit more. It just doesn't automatically stay the same, or you automatically have to do this. You got to keep doing different things to spice the relationship, right? To keep things going. And we got to keep communicating and growing and understanding and learning and knowing each other on our football team, so that way you want to play for guys more, right? It's like going to work. A lot of people go to work and they don't want to be there. I want them to come in the building and be excited that they get to see their brothers, you know what I mean, and be around each other and see the coaches and have fun at practice before they get ready to go home.
Fran Brown Marriage Book's going to do numbers.
When Vegas makes you guys as big an underdog as they did this week, do you
Say it again.
When Vegas makes you guys,
You going to pretend not to
care
know
about
about
what
this?
Vegas
you don't talk about it
said.
with your team?
Nah, Vegas said Canelo was about to win. Right? You know what I'm saying?
They don't know everything.
Crawford said different. Right? So, I mean, I don't really pay attention to that. I'm not allowed to gamble or bet on us, so I don't pay attention to that.
19-point dogs.
I'm just focused on just today, really, like the first quarter, just trying to do that. That's cool. I like being underdog. I've been an underdog my whole life, right? 50 got a good song, Hate It or Love It, the underdog is on top. You know, you should listen to that sometime. It'd be pretty cool.
I know that one.
That's my song.
Coach, I know you get excited about every game, but is there something about, we talked last year about rivalries, kind of developing these rivalries. Is there something about Clemson? Does that get circled on your calendar when you see that?
Nah, I like every game. I want to play everybody. Whoever they put on the schedule, we all become rivals. Right? It
They
doesn't
played
really
4
matter
teams
who
in
it
the
is.
playoffs last year. A lot of circles.
You got to prepare the same way. You got to practice the same way. You know, still got to get the same amount of hours of sleep. Got to do all the same things. So it's just all preparation. I mean, I'm excited that we have the opportunity of doing this. I know it's going to be sold out, right? So for me, I've been loving football since I've been a little kid. So to be able to go and coach at a stadium like this and to be there. It's going to be sold
82 and
out.
change.
I mean, it's going to be fun, right? You're excited about that, and I can't wait for the opportunity.
Coach, where is the place that you've seen the most growth from Steve Angeli over the past 3 games?
Not getting sacked. He's just a leader, and he's getting more and more comfortable. You know, just IDing everything and just growing with his teammates, more so back to him with the love and just to hanging with him, but just understanding the offense more, right? I think I told y'all in the beginning that Steve kind of came on at the end of our first game, and we'll keep getting better and better and better, and then I think he's just going to keep growing. I think he's a really smart, intelligent young man who's a winner, who wants to win, who loves to win, and he'll just keep getting better, right? He's understanding the offense more and more every week, so it's set for him to win, right? He's a leader, and we're going to follow him, right? The guys will follow him, the players follow him, they respect him. Just proud of him.
We'll go down in front to Zach and Aiden, and then Dan as well right after. We're ready to roll.
Fran, obviously Clemson has a strong defensive line. Just what have you seen from on tape, and what sort of challenges do they present?
Clemson D-line?
Clemson's D-line.
They fucking nice.
Bad words.
11, 90, I mean, it's 2 of them. 19, I mean, they ridiculous, especially 11. Like, I like 11 a lot. I think he's a good player. They good. Like, they really good. I mean, I can't wait to play against them, though, just to see where we are. Our offensive line going to compete their butts off, but they nice. 13, right? It's just a bunch of them. Then the linebackers, Sammy Brown, I remember recruiting him at Georgia. He a good player. 17's a good player. So I like that front seven a lot. They probably got one of the better front sevens in the country. They do a good job. So it's going to be a good test for us, right, to see who we are. But watching them on tape, you be like, damn. Like, I mean, they legit. They do a good job. So I'm excited to play them.
And then in terms of your special teams, we've seen Tripp and Jaden kind of rotate in terms of who's kicking field goals and who's taking kickoffs. Just what goes into that in terms
Not rotating at all.
They're not rotating. Tripp's kicking field goals, and Jaden's kicking off. He's kicking off.
One of them kicks it straight. One of them kicks it
far.
far.
They've done that every time all year.
No, I meant like what goes into Tripp kicking the field goals. And
He
was more accurate in the camp throughout the summer. Jaden, he was more accurate in camp throughout the summer, and Jaden's leg was super strong, and he's been doing a good job with the touchbacks. I think he had 10 touchbacks this weekend, which was a good deal. So happy for him. I think he was special teams player of the week for us too. So shout out to him. He did a good job.
Yeah, going back to the DB room, Chris Peel's a guy I know you recruited since Rutgers. Just what has he brought to the team so far, and what's your relationship looked like with him since way back?
He's a good kid. His mom's a great woman. He comes from a really good background, right? His aunts, just his whole family is good, and he loves to compete, and he can play. I think he'll not only dominate here for the next 3 years, but I think he'll go and do the same thing in the NFL. He'll continue to get better and better and better, and he's a smart, intelligent kid. I just enjoy it. I love Chris. Like, that's my boy, right? I'm so happy that he got to come here and play for us. I've been recruiting him for a long time, and it's starting to pay off. And you can see, you guys been watching, you can see how he can play. He's a good football player, and I mean, he's a solid tackler, right? You don't usually have a lot of corners that can tackle that solid and aren't afraid of contact. 6'1", 10'4", 100 meter. So, I mean, they're all the things that you're looking for. Chris Pill is one of those guys at corner.
Him and Demetrius could be a good tandem for a long time.
Fran, looking at Darryl Gill Jr., just what he's done, his evolution, like he said, he was one of those guys as a freshman that wanted to come in, wanted opportunities. Now he wants to see other guys.
He got on You Got Moss last
how
night.
he's excelled at his game and what he's done as a leader to celebrate everybody, not just himself.
I think he's a guy that is not selfish at all. So he's always happy to see other people do well. Leadership, he's getting better at it. He could continue to get better at it, right? He continue to grow, continue to work. Athletically, he a freak, right? He could jump out the gym, he could catch, he could make plays. He's fast. People don't understand and know that. I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for the way he's been working. I'm thankful for he's just himself, though. That's what I like most of all about him. He a Texas kid, and you're going to understand and know he's from Texas. His whole style and his swag is Texas. And he thorough, though, man. That's my boy. I'm really thankful for him. I'm happy that he's here, happy that he's playing and leading that receiver room.
And then
He needs more
like
cowboy
you said,
hats.
You lean on your faith. That's the most important thing to you. Last year, you talked about how LaQuint Allen Jr. started to come in and pray with you. I know we hear from other guys like Dan Villari's kind of evolution through his faith and whatnot. What can you say to that a few games into this season, building that faith, building a structure around something a lot bigger than simply football?
That's who we played for Saturday. That was my message before the game, to make sure we play for the man above, and not worry about all the selfish things that we want to play for and the reasons why and all like that. Don't worry about the flush. It was about the man above. And just keep doing that, right? As we keep playing that way and we continue to glorify his name, no matter the religion, whatever our religion may be, especially right now in our time and there where we at with our country and things of that nature. I think that faith, and love, right? Faith and love is just something that we all got to hold on to and understand that it's real, right? It's not a game. It helps you get through life, right? And understand why things happen the way they do sometimes. But I just tell our players, faith and hard work, faith and hard work. Let's stick to that. Let's let that be our core of who we are, right? And when we have that within us, there's no way we can't be successful. Just stay focused. Let's not try to do what's the trend. Let's do what we know is right, and let's do it with a pure heart.
And last one, if anybody's got it. Chris,
Oh, man.
Fran, you've talked about Byron and how important and how
Chris
much
Cross.
he'll help you guys when he's able to play more. How unique was the process in terms of getting him in shape for this season? Because we all know sort of he came in.
He was 400 pounds.
big and he looks like a lot different now.
It was fun. It's a fun process. I'm excited that we get to go through it. Byron's a young kid, right? He's growing. I think he's still getting taller, to be honest. But we're just, it's a process that we're just going through, and I'm happy I got to go through it with him. I'm excited. I'm happy that I'm his coach. I think he and I belong together, right? I understand Byron. Byron understands me. And I think he's going to be an NFL player, right? I think that he needed to go through this process here because it'll help push him, right? Byron, I won't say exactly how much weight he lost, but he lost more weight than any of us will lose because we don't got that mental toughness. We say it, but we don't always do it. And he just works, right? And he knows what he wants in life. He's a mature kid. He's the leader of that freshman class, right? Those guys understanding, they look up to him because he works, and they know he works. And when he doesn't, he'll tell you, now that was on me. I was being lazy, but I got it. Like, I'll make sure I work it out, right? And he does a good job. He comes in and just does extra stuff with Coach Hicks, just to work on his flexibility, to work on, different things with him running and things of that nature. So, I mean, he's a guy that's just going to put the work in. Well, I always talk about the CCT. He's committed. He cares. And why do I trust him? Because he constantly works, and he's constantly showing me that he can do things that most people can't do, right? If you were 6'8" and weighed that much, who knows what you'll be doing, right? Or things of that nature. So Byron's a dog.
I think you posted a picture of him in the sauna. Like, is there anything unique that you've had him do, or is it the same process as sort of any guy who needs to lose?
Yeah, same process as everybody else. If I tell my secrets, then they ain't a secret no more, right? So, it's the same process. Just watch what you eat, just eating, right? At a certain time. Don't eat after this time at night. All those things that people say, right? Get up in the morning, eat early, work out, boom, boom. Don't eat after this. Don't have a lot of sugars. All the main basic stuff that people need to do that we don't follow, me included, right? So if we do that, then we'll all look great and be in a really good shape.
He'll have his relationship book and his workout book.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
There goes Fran. Bye, Fran. All right, little Fran Brown presser here on a Monday. That was a very nothing revolutionary, I don't think, from that other. Fran Brown has a little potty mouth on him sometimes. Oh, the Clemson defensive line's got him saying the naughty words. Fran, come on now. If you want, a link is posted at the top. We could pop a call or two on before we go here in a couple minutes, if that is of interest to anybody. But I don't know what to take away from that other than Fran has identified the strongest unit in the game on Saturday, and he effing knows that it's effing Clemson's front seven, because Those effing guys. Whoa. If Syracuse can effing find a way to handle those effing guys on Monday, then maybe they'll effing have a chance in the game. That is, without question, between both teams, offense, defense, special teams, whatever, the front seven of Clemson. They're the dudes. That's the group. That is who potentially could decide the game on Saturday. If Syracuse can handle that group in some way, that could be a serious factor to swing it the other way. Georgia Tech did enough with that with their veteran quarterback Haynes King this past Saturday in Atlanta to get the win. Anything in the chat before we let y'all go for the afternoon? Thanks so much as always for coming and hanging out on a Monday. Jen popping in there. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else in the chat? On this Monday, we'll have normal content throughout the week. Be sure to be following all the social medias. Brian Higgins 315 on pretty much anything. Facebook's doing something funky with me. Like what? They denied one of my pages because they said I was impersonating a celebrity. It was me. What's up with that? What's up with that? I want to know. Like, not impersonating anything here. It was just like, what are we? What's going on? What's going on with that? I don't know if we like that. Do we have somebody popping on for a little call here? We can possibly do that quick. Let's get it all set up here. 1 second. We got to hit some buttons, clickety clack some things, make sure everything is cool. Do we have it? Is it popping up over here? Show me the thing. Make it do the thing. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, okay. Show me the thing. Is it gonna? No, there's not. Where'd it go? Why is it not there? Yeah, I want that. I want it to go over here. I want it to be like that. I want it to be like that. Why do we? Yeah, show me the. Show me the thing. Well, that's peculiar. That's peculiar. I see you there, Mark in NYC. I see you. I'm looking at your thing, and it's not. Oh wait, hang on. What's this button? I don't know what that button is. What do we got here? Wait. Oh, so what did I do? No video. Yeah. What's Why is it not showing up on the what's up with all that? Like it should be. I'm just talking to myself now. You're watching me struggle with technology. It should be popping up right here in a way that I can put you on the. Don't leave the screen there, Mark. I don't know why it's not. What's this button? What do we got here? No, that didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. What about you? Whoops! What did I just do? Oh my goodness. That's no good. We've ruined everything. I don't know what I did to poor Mark here. Mark, oh, no cam. You're at work. Okay. Hang on, Mark. Watch this. I don't know if this is gonna work because things have gone haywire here for a moment. But we'll put this up here. Mark, you may or may not be on right now if you can hear me. Give it a go here, Mark. If you're there.
I'll go test 44. Can you hear me?
I hear you, Mark. Yeah, that's working. All right, let it fly, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Sorry, just at work right now. Couldn't go live on camera. But happy to make a comment. First of all, Brian, thanks for doing this. So happy to have you back on the air. It's great to have this and tuning into the post games and the press conference ones. It's awesome.
Appreciate it.
One comment I wanted to make, I actually made this on Orange Nation. I wanted to hear your take on it. I was looking ahead to this Clemson game this weekend. Clemson's lost a handful of games as of recently, dating back to last year too. And there seems to be a common theme in these games that they've lost that, the quarterback play from the opponent team is a dual threat quarterback. So like Lenoris Sellers last year ran for 166 yards and South Carolina beat Clemson. Haynes King last week. Haynes King reminds me a lot of like an Eric Dungy type player. He ran for 103 yards on 25 carries. thinking about our past games in the past few years, Dungy and Schrader, their running play, really is what made us almost win those games. And then in 2017, we actually won the game. And, so I'm just curious your thoughts with Angeli really a pocket passer. Does that give you some concerns that we don't really have a dual threat quarterback that we're bringing into Death Valley?
Yeah, I mean, I look at this game, Mark, and obviously the biggest concern is what Fran's clearly concerned about. Like Clemson's front seven, as much as Clemson's offense has been struggling, and people thought that Klubnik was going to take a step that he's not taken so far this year, and the reasons they've lost the games they've lost, it ain't because of those guys. And yeah, whatever. They were fine against Colgate last week. I'm still extremely concerned about Syracuse's offensive line. They got handled by Tennessee. Tennessee, looking, if things play out as they were, Tennessee's front is probably the second best front that Syracuse will see this season, with Clemson's being the best. Like Peter Woods and those guys, it's NFL first round draft pick after NFL, early round draft pick. So yeah, and Jelly's not going to get out of there. So I'd say my worry is twofold, Mark, and it's part of the reason I was so upset Jelly was in the game late on Saturday. Is that I'm worried not only it's going to cost Syracuse the game, I'm worried he's going to get hurt. Like if the tackle situation, nobody mentioned Demetrius Weatherspoon today. I'm sure Fran would have said he's questionable, and we'll say it on Thursday. I'm worried about the tackle spots. I don't know what's going on the O-line, and yeah, I'd say that is a significant worry that Angeli being able to get away from those guys is not exactly, it doesn't really seem to be his strength in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, totally. I think you made good points. And to be honest, in Fran's presser just now, wasn't loving his response to the Yacine Willis injury status.
No.
Thought he'd be, that one had me a little nervous. I don't know if Fran's playing a game of poker, a game of chess, as he'd say. But didn't seem so encouraging on the Yacine Willis front. But I would say, I know it's Colgate. Some of those freshman running backs were, that kid Talik Hill. He looked pretty speedy, like Sean Tucker-esque.
Yeah, he's I don't know if he's quite as powerful as Tuck was, but man, he's quick. I like that he's not a running back, but Darian Williams, the CA kid, like the 2 or 3 touches he had, I get it was Colgate, but man, he was electric. Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving those guys, because you need, like, to beat Clemson. I mean, you look back at how Syracuse beat them. You look back at, how they almost beat them the next year down in Death Valley. Man, you need some athletes to make some freaking plays. Like, Syracuse is going to need some athletes. Like, you're not going to seem your way to win on Saturday. Like, you need some dudes to step up and gain you a yard when you need a yard. And we'll see. Hopefully, Klubnik is still off. Hopefully, the Clemson offense is still off, because I think what we saw in both of those games, like Syracuse ain't beating Clemson 38-35. Like, the game, if the Orange are to be in it, it probably needs to be like, score-wise, like that Georgia Tech game was last week, which is 24-21, because to get more than that against the defense is probably unrealistic.
Yeah, and the only comment, last thing I want to make, I've never been to Death Valley, Brian. I imagine you have in your years past working for athletics. So, does it get super loud there? Do the players get rattled, tough for the line to communicate? Just curious what the vibe is down there.
Yeah, like, it's tricky, because obviously Syracuse has absorbed multiple blowouts down there. And it's not a place that in, a blowout whole Hummer is going to be, like, out of its mind for 3.5 hours. But, like, in the 2018 game down there, the 2018 game, the game they could have, should have won down there, like, the game, for one, because Syracuse had beat them the year before, I think the fan base was a little bit on notice from that. But, yeah, it was loud in there down the stretch in the fourth quarter, like, and, the game was essentially over. It would have taken a miracle at that point. But Clemson sourced to take the lead. They got it back for one, like, desperate possession, and Dungy took a just absolute sack because his lineman didn't get out of their stance. Xavier Thomas hit him in the face. Like, nobody could hear what was going on at that point. So, yeah, when it gets loud there, it gets loud. So I'd be concerned, Steve Angeli, headset communication in a game like this, that didn't exist back then. I've talked to Dungy about that repeatedly. Like, do you think he would have been able to hear in those scenarios? Like, probably not. So I'll be intrigued to see, like, are they ready for alternate ways to get plays in? Are there going to be communication delay issues early on? Plus, you have the injuries on the offensive line. So you may have different personnel in there. Yeah, I'd say you look early first quarter, like that. I'd say that could be a significant concern to start. I'd say for one mark, and if the game happens to be close late in the fourth quarter, it's certainly a factor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really looking forward to the game. A tweet from someone, 12 o'clock Death Valley this early in the season. Syracuse has some momentum. It just brings back PTSD probably for all the people in the chat right now of, watching those games when we let it, I can't forget that Elijah Fuentes, late hit pushing Kid Klubnik out of bounds. Kid Klubnik was the backup. That kind of really swung that game that year. And then, the prior game I felt before that when the back quarterback came in and converted that 4th and 6. And we had that game wrapped up. Just 2 tough losses where I personally refuse to watch those highlights because those games really killed me as a fan.
Yeah, that 2018 game with Chase Bryce, like the play at Higgins, like the 4th down play, the penalty, Cody Conway legal men downfield, like that's the one game.
Oh, that play. Oh,
like,
my gosh,
you look at recent, you look at this century, you talk about a game like especially the way they're at, like Syracuse was legit good that season. Like the Orange would have had a chance for the conference title game, all that stuff if they were able to win that game. But what could have been.
Yeah, well, I know I probably overtalked about, I think this weekend, just watching Clemson, if we can get the Syracuse team that we think they could be, and what it's trying to be, if we can somehow pull off a win, there's a lot more winnable games on the schedule than we thought this season. And we get Notre Dame kind of later in the year, and hopefully they continue to lose, and they kind of crossed it at that point. Who knows? There's a little bit of a path now for us. So this game this weekend will really kind of tell the story of the season. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Mark. Always good to hear from you. Thanks for chiming in here today. Always great to chat with our guy Mark down in NYC. All right, that'll wrap things up here on this Monday. As always, you can join our programs vis-a-vis the same way. Now, was it getting a little choppy there? I don't know. Sometimes the technology can prove tricky on these things. Sometimes on the back end of things. But do check out the social media all week long. We'll be with you with plenty of stuff every day as per usual. Noon kick time on Saturday. Syracuse and Clemson will be noon next week for Duke as well. We'll be with you after right here live on YouTube. We'll rock out some post-game with you immediately after the game is over. With that, have a great day. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk again live here on YouTube on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I'll just I know I probably overdid my time here, but I think this weekend, just watching Clemson, if we can get the Syracuse team that we think they could be, and what it's trending to be, if we can somehow pull off a win, there's a lot more winnable games on this schedule than we thought this season, and we get Notre Dame kind of later in the year, and hopefully they continue.